Hello, my name is Abe. Welcome back to some Dead Cells. You don't have to load the daily challenge every day game. I don't care about the daily challenge. Just load my last run. It looks like we have the classic Dead Cells skin with the big red head. I'll take a big red head. Lately, our brutality runs have not really been going that well. I've been kind of screwing it up on occasion, dying in very funny ways, or non-funny ways. What was it last run? I died to, I don't remember how I died on the last run. Oh yeah, I remember. I was in spoiler biome, and I got locked into doing the weird platform challenge that I failed. That's what it was. That being said, I'm gonna do another brutality run today, because I wanna get it to work. Dad, I wanna win my brutality run. But, actually really do like what we have started out with here. Snake fangs, which will do more damage to a bleeding target. Bleeding on the throwing knives. They also pierce. The snake fangs poison. And then in theory, if we get some sort of a synergy with bleeding and poison on some of our other equipment, we can get some good damage done here. This is actually like a very good start. I'm occasionally a big fan of the, well, let's do it. I'm occasionally a big fan of the snake fangs. Sometimes it feels like poison has no effect on you. Sewers, here we come. Sometimes it feels like you do kind of get screwed by the teleportation that kind of happens sometimes, but that's not all the time. That's only some of the times. A lot of the times it actually does like work very well. There we go, good crits. But we'll see what happens on this run. I do like the snake fangs though. I've liked the Alucard sword when we had it on the last run. It wasn't like a 10 out of 10 pickup, but it was okay. The teleportation sometimes screwed me, but it also sometimes, enabled me to do more damage faster because I would just teleport directly into the enemies. And its damage is actually really good when you crit. We'll see. I'm also a Fang of the Fangs, says Calazzo. Welcome, Calazzo. We'll see how well the fangs perform. Although if we find like a rapier or a twin dagger, I might buy one of those. Okay, well, I mean, I'm gonna buy the firebrand, but I'm gonna put it in the backpack. If we find a twin dagger, if we find a rapier, I'm willing to take those as options. I like those weapons. I've been liking them more and more as I've been using them lately. Their damage is surprisingly decent. Also, we have every DOT available to us right now. We have poison, we have fire, we have bleed. We can pretty much build whatever run we want. The only thing we're missing is what I just sold, electricity. I would like to keep these items for a while because we have all three of the DOTs. I want to be able to keep them. I want to be able to pick what I want in the future. That's why I bought the Firebrand, because Firebrand is just unbelievably good. It's one of the best fire weapons for sure. And it's also just good on a non-fire run, but now that we have it, we can pick what we want in the future. We can pick if we want to go into bleed, poison, burn. We'll probably go burn because the thing about burn is that it's got the highest damage bonus. Poison second, bleed is third. I don't know why, but that, that's just what it is, I guess. We have too many cursed biomes here. Promenade and toxic sewers. I wanted to go to the sewers. Maybe we'll go to the sewers anyways. We'll throw up our hands in the air, say we don't care, and then if we get poisoned, well, actually we can't get killed with poison. when cursed. So maybe this is actually like the best time to do this. I was gonna say if we get poisoned and die while we're cursed, that would suck, but we'll just take it as the price to go to the sewers, which is where we wanted to go. But if we can't die to poison, you know, let's give it a go, shall we? We didn't take any damage. We got to 60 kills, which is very good. I'm just gonna recycle at least that. How close to the teleporter is the other food item? Literally there. Okay, let's recycle this one as well for an extra 200 gold, and then we're gonna go to the sewers, and we'll try not to die, but if we die, we die. Connie, welcome. How's it going? I was completely in the zone in hard space, forgot about the stream. Anyways, hello. How many hours do you have in hard space, Connie? Because I've been thinking about playing a game like that for like casual relaxation recently. Funnily enough, what I have been doing for casual relaxation is I've been playing Resident Evil 3 on like S rank attempts and infernal runs. So it's been fun, but it does get a little bit stressful sometimes. A nice relaxing, you know, cutting apart ship simulator game where if you make a mistake and you explode seems a little bit better. Connie says 31 hours, soon to be done with the story mode, and then I can do casual free play. A nice little casual free play mode. I'm gonna take the grappling hook. Why not? The bleed application is basically meaningless, but maybe we can, you know, one-hit kill an enemy with this. It'll synergize with the snake fangs as well, and maybe... No, that's way too early, game. I just want to check. I want to check to see. No, it does not have a curse on it. It's the earliest damn bank you can have. I hate it. Yo, I just realized. Oh my god, they fixed the bug that was in the game where old paths were still shown on the maps, so now you can't go everywhere from the nest. Or from the necropolis, I suppose it was. And it also means there's no line in my game anymore, going from the prisoner's quarters all the way to the far right of the screen. Let's go. Balu Bear, welcome. Hey Abe, is Resident Evil 0 on your planned list of Resident Evil games? My wife says she likes it a lot. A lot. Which one is RE0? I don't know if that's one of the ones that I have, but I gotta be honest, some of the old Resident Evils, I might not play just because I would play them if they had like quality of life stuff, but they all don't. So I was looking, and I know that, for instance, Code Veronica is apparently one of the harder ones and one of the longer ones. But it's an old one, so I don't know if I necessarily want to do that. It's already annoying enough having to play those games with the tank controls, the bad graphics, the door opening, loading animations all the time. The one in the train RE prequel. See, I don't know what that means. I don't know there's a train. I know that 0 probably means prequel, though. I know what a prequel is. So there's gonna be enemies in here. I like the idea of saving that. We don't need to care that much about curse. You know, if we end the level cursed, it's really not a big deal. We just gotta be a little careful that we don't die to the curse. Grappling hook, you know, it's not gonna get a kill on its own. That's not what it's here for. It's here to enable me to pull aggro from enemies if I deem it appropriate. Kind of why I'm kind of just letting things go a little bit. I'm not really caring too much about what we're killing and when. I think one of the things that I really like about the Poison Fangs is that it lets you do something like that where you can get out of the range of enemies and then get back into the range of enemies very quickly. Just gotta be a little bit careful not to get cursed by that guy. Still waiting to find our first... There he is, right there. Now, he's not that affected by DOT, damage over time effects, which is good for us because it means that he is less likely to die due to the flame turret or fire on the ground or anything like that. Corrupted power. Nearby enemies start bleeding when the effect ends. I'm realizing that corrupted power could be incredible. Part of my recent Dead Cells play has been learning how the damage bonuses in this game actually work. I've forgotten half of the information, but anything that increases damage increases the bleed damage doubly. So plus 50, what's 1.5 times 1.5? 2.25? That's the amount of damage we would get out of corrupted power. 2.25 times damage multiplier when we use it. And if this scales over 50%, it won't, but if it did, that would be great. Does it scale based on time? Maybe it does scale on damage? I don't know, but this would very drastically increase the damage that we're doing with our other abilities. With our bleed, with our poison, with our fire. I actually feel like maybe I'll even give it a shot. I think it's way better than I've ever given it credit for. Specifically because it, again, scales the damage twice. Is that a freaking mimic? No, it's just a platform area. I was gonna say, is it the mimic shop identifier? It's not. So yeah, I actually think that this could be freaking incredible. Especially if we also take stuff like support. Because if we also take things like support, then we'll have even more damage bonuses, and I'm pretty sure all these damage bonuses stack multiplicatively. And if they do stack multiplicatively with one another, then we can get, you know, stack 2 times 2 damage bonuses, all of a sudden you're doing times 4 damage, you know? More than the sum of its parts, so. I kinda like the idea of maybe trying a corrupted power run. It would also potentially help us do flawless bosses. Maybe not so much the Watcher. With that boss we have too many periods of forced invincibility where corrupted power doesn't really shine. Really the giant fight is the best, because the giant has the only part of the giant fight that has forced invisibility is really more of just like a temporary, like 1 second gap where you're stunned. Mother of Zerg, welcome. How are you doing today? Ashen Rand says Baldur's Gate is a good casual game. Is it though? This is a combat zone, but it's by the exit. So let's do it. That way we can, you know, clear out the area. Maybe it doesn't actually increase the damage that you do, because I was still doing 29 damage per bleed. That would suck. That would suck if it doesn't actually increase the damage that you deal with the DOTs, because I was using corrupted power there. It didn't look like it was increasing anything, but we'll figure it out as we go. There's an elite up here that I would very much like to take out, so why don't we use corrupted power here? And we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's still 29, so maybe the corrupted power is actually garbage? I feel like maybe this is one of those things where we need to do a proper test. We need to go into the training room and see if corrupted power actually gives you the damage bonus that I think it should. And if it doesn't, maybe that's a reason to ignore it in the future. Yeah, because he takes 29 bleed damage right now, and he'll take 29 bleed damage with corrupted power. So corrupted power, I guess, does not work the way I thought it did. It doesn't actually scale your DOT. 29. I'm noticing a lot of 29s. I mean, we do get the benefit of corrupted power doing more like raw physical damage, I guess, but that's not really good enough. I love that bug. He's not a bug, he's a bird. Ha ha ha. Gotcha. Still looking for the remainder of the cursed enemies. Should be a couple more sore losers, unless it is just literally like a random distribution of them. No cursed chest, by the way, which is sad. If it's just a random distribution of cursed enemies, then I think we got very lucky with it just being a bunch of bellboys. Nope, there's one. But again, the damage over time doesn't do a lot of damage to those enemies because they don't want them to die accidentally. They being the developers, they don't want that enemy to die accidentally and then screw over the player, especially when the player gets off screen. Like if you stacked up 12 seconds of bleed on that guy because of a blood sword and then you like teleport away and then he dies, you'd be like, oh, what the heck, game screwed me. I can believe that. I can understand that. Just gotta wait for everything to die. Okay, so there's one. Come here. There we go. At least the curse has been lifted. Lots of these guys today, huh? What do we got? Does slow it down a bit having to worry about the cursed enemies, but you know, we're getting there. Oh, you got me. One of these days we'll get the flawless run under our belt, and then we'll have, you know, another head unlocked at some point. Okay. Still quite a lot to do, Jesus. We bounced around a lot, but because we were fast, the malaise is still relatively low. Not the, and then it's cleared. Not the lowest it could be, but decent considering that we were in a cursed biome, and so we were going a little slowly. All right. Couple of enemies over here. I still want to kill everything. Well, actually don't really want to kill everything, but we'll kill a few things. Kind of wish that I could, right now in this run, save it and then go look in the training room, because I really want to see if corrupted power works. It feels like it doesn't, so I think honestly I'm just gonna get rid of it. Like, if this doesn't do what I think it does, there's no reason to have it, really. I had this for one purpose, and if we can't... Did I forget to dodge roll? If we can't use it for that purpose, I don't want it. But we're not quite done yet. There's one more room left. Don't forget about the chest room over here. It's not a cursed chest, unfortunately. But there are a bunch of enemies in here, so just in case there are, you know, the cursed boys. This exact layout killed me the other day. Right here. I couldn't fall down. It works now, so I don't know what the problem was. I did see in the patch notes there was a patch note that said that they fixed a bug that prevented Richter from going down platforms. I wonder if that was maybe related to all of the Castlevania characters, and that's the reason why that particular platform killed me previously. It would explain it. It would explain it because it really did feel a little weird. I still stand that I should have been fine. Okay, delete your projectile. This guy, we're just gonna kill him as quickly as we can. I hate him. Everyone hates him. I think we're just gonna take the sinew slicer. Again, if the corrupted power doesn't work, then no point in having it. Well, correction. It would still increase your damage, so you know if we were rolling baseball bat, that would be okay, but we're not rolling baseball bat, we're rolling DOTs here. Literally every piece of equipment I have is some sort of a damage over time effect. All right, swap the amulet. No reason not to have the extra stats. And where are we going? Corrupted prison? Oh my God, a free prison. Every run recently has been cursed prison, cursed prison, cursed prison. For once we got a freebie. There was a shop, but I don't see a reason necessarily to reroll what we have. What we have is very good. Now I might want to actually equip the firebrand. Sorry for the echo, I'm just taking a drink. I would love, I think, the damage from that over, oh, rip me, over the bleed from the daggers. There's some water here, but honestly, it's just that the firebrand is so much more damage. Because yes, it'll burn enemies in the ground for 141, which is less than the 146 from the daggers, but eventually it'll actually do more damage because it will burn the enemies with more stacks. So I want the stacks. We do have a very good opportunity though to just grab the support, which I know does work with damage over time, multiplicatively, but not the corrupted power. I think corrupted power needs a buff in that case. Which one is this? This isn't Richter. Which one is this guy? I don't know. Calazo says, I haven't been here for a hot minute. Are you done with FTL Multiverse? I will probably play more of that, but I kind of want there to be another update. We need the damage. We don't need the poison. I kind of want there to be another update because the runs of it are just so long. I don't really want to take the time to play a run of it, you know? Okay. I gotta remember, there's no weirdness happening here. Oh, that's a little scary. Oh, I dodged at the wrong moment. I'm lucky to be alive. I also very much need, oh, that was so dangerous. I very much need to use the firebrand. If we're not rolling, whoa, if we're not rolling with the daggers, get out of here. We still gotta use this. Okay, we did take a hit there. Oh, you know, we weren't cursed, so thank God. Random skills. You know, I might actually upgrade this flamethrower turret. I still am not entirely certain how I feel about the flamethrower turret, but, you know, I would not be against at least upgrading it. Thank you. Trying to keep my eyes open, but kind of hard to do sometimes. There we go. Interesting that this amulet is so much worse than the one that we had last floor, but last floor was a cursed biome, so that's why it's +1. It's very interesting that you get to get lower quality loot further into the run, you know? Plaza says, I stopped playing my save file after unlocking the Salt Ship. I think in my like last or second to last multiverse run, I did unlock Salt Ship. And now because that's like a easy way of enabling even more like secret quests and whatnot, everyone's just like, you haven't done the Salt quest? And it's like, no, I don't know what the Salt quest is, you piece of garbage. I don't read the wiki all day, every day like you do. Well, excuse me, princess, I haven't done the Salt quest yet. Burn the ground when you run. We don't need more ways of enabling burn, I think. We have burn. Why so salty? Yeah, exactly. Why are you so salty? I just unlocked the Salt Ship yesterday. Leave me alone. Connie says, unless they change their planned, Multiverse expects version 6 to be the last one, currently on version 5.2. I think 5.3, actually. I could be wrong about that, though, because I just don't pay attention, don't keep track, don't care. I thought it was 5.3, but maybe 5.3 is the next one. Oh, we gotta go this way. Yeah, 5 something. 5, who knows? 5, let God sort the rest out. Something spawned over there. Something spawned that I don't care about. Because I don't need to. Oh, you're screwed. I mean, it feels like that turret actually did do a lot of damage to that enemy, but... Well, I didn't mean to come down here yet. I just don't like fighting 2 of them, okay? I don't like fighting any of them, really. I especially don't like fighting 2 of them at the same time. Not Malaise. Explore. We don't want any of this, and we are out. There is some infected food, but honestly, I think we're fine, 75%. Where are we gonna go? Ramparts, ancient sewers, Dracula's castle. You know, I wouldn't mind going up to the ramparts. It's incentivized, we're not there that often, but we're starting to go there more frequently. Excuse me. Especially with the inclusion of the incentivized biomes, I kind of like going there just because it is sometimes not non-incentivized, especially because it's almost always incentivized. It's a free path, basically. And you know what, we can go fight Bridge Boss. We have a good bridge build. We have a very good bridge build. Segus Jr., welcome. How are you doing today? Hi. Hello. Hello. So what do we want? We got turrets. We've got DOT. No Mercy's always good. We took Damned Vigor since we were dealing with that cursed biome. Really need it right now. Kill Rhythm. We don't have a slow weapon. Necromancy. We don't really care about the healing too much. I mean, I guess if you really wanted to, you would go Tainted Flask, right? Start the process of getting the flasks recharged. Although, I don't think I don't think we'll start counting the elites right now, so maybe not. Maybe we'll go Vengeance if it shows up. If it shows up, I'm talking about Face Flask, but it's like they're intrinsically linked in my mind. You can't have one without the other. Open wounds for a bleed, for more self-damage synergies, potentially. Combo? I don't really like combo on Bridge Boss, but it is something. Instinct of the Master of Arms. We're not really critting that much. We don't need emergency triage. Kill me. Parries restore 2% health. Yeah, you know, I think actually, no mercy. We have so much DOT, it seems good to lean into it, right? This build that we have here is not reliant upon big, heavy hits. It's reliant on the damage over time. So let's ensure that enemies will die basically always 15% faster. Now let's do it. Kind of hopeful that maybe we can get a cursed chest on this floor because we didn't get one earlier. How would people feel about the cursed biomes guaranteeing you an extra cursed chest? Might make it a little bit more worthwhile, potentially. Might make it a little bit too good, especially if you can get like 5 additional cursed chests per floor, I guess, but you could get those 5 additional cursed chests per floor if you go that route. It's just not a guaranteed. Silvito MM, welcome. How are you doing, Silvito? I didn't mean to equip both of those, or throw both of those, but I did. That was my mistake. You do get stunned. Your big brother doesn't get stunned, you get stunned. I guess ground shakers are kind of his big brother. Maybe X amount of guaranteed cursed chests at certain BCs, says Connie. That'd be interesting, like, maybe on level 5 BC, you get 2 guaranteed cursed chests, but they're locked inside of those biomes. So if you want them, you gotta go get them. Who are you? Oh, it's you. That way, that risk is a little bit more inherent in the run. You could ignore it, but then that costs you your scrolls. Hell, you know, it doesn't even have to be like bonus cursed chests. It could just be the cursed chest that you would normally get from like the ossuary and the graveyard, but they're locked in with the cursed biomes. I'm not saying that all of your scrolls from those biomes should be inside of the cursed chest. I'm just saying that similar to those floors having the guaranteed cursed chest, the cursed biomes could have somewhat guaranteed cursed chests that you need in order to stay ahead of the curve. Excuse me, could you die, please? He died. He died in one hit. This is going for a walk. Enjoy your walk. Well, that's right. I was gonna upgrade the flame turret on the last floor, and I absolutely didn't. Give me the guaranteed cursed chest instead of toilet paper, says Silvito. You'll say that until the next pandemic, and then you'll be like, give me the toilet paper. What spreads the oil? Sinew Slicer. And then it does double damage on burning oil. Yeah, that's pretty good. I enjoy that. That's a good synergy. I mean, we easily can create any of the DOT synergies that we want. That's kind of the point. I will not be responsible for the next pandemic. But I'll blame you if I run out of toilet paper, I guess, Sylvita, since you like TP so much. No, actually, you said the exact opposite. You're like, no TP. Start investing in your local pharmaceutical company. Start investing in, you know, apparently we know now, you know, the next pandemic, invest in paper companies. They're pretty much printing money. Dirty bed. You dirty, dirty bed. I guess we're climbing out of here. Come on. Start investing in Umbrella now. I mean, the funny thing is that at the start of Resident Evil 3, there's that live action section where it's like the pandemic, no, sorry, the virus is, you know, the CDC is barricaded down the city. It's a absolute craziness happening here. And then it cuts to a doctor at Umbrella saying, honesty, integrity, these are just some of the core principles that guide Umbrella's foundation. And all I can think of is, yes, that sounds so like menacing and evil because we know what Umbrella is, but also like, that's just reality. That's every corporation sounds like that. Anytime there's PR speak. That's the point. I understand that's the point, but it still gets me. It makes me laugh. And then cry. Honesty, integrity, these are some of the core principles that drive our work at Umbrella. And it's like, oh, well. So, you know, Johnson & Johnson, ah! Hurt there. GlaxoSmithKline, it's basically all of them. All right, thank you for the convenient med kit. I know that there's money up there, but we got enough. Imagine being rich and never beating 5 BC. Yeah, they'll never have that. I have my integrity. Imagine Albert Wesker hosting a corporate barbecue. See, I'm more of a Barry Burton barbecue fan. You know he's got some mean grill skills. All right, what are we doing? It's not a mimic. We have a level 5 turret, a level 8 sinew slicer. The sinew slicer is very good because it spreads oil and then does double damage in burning oil. We can create fire with the firebrand, so we don't need the flamethrower turret. The cleave trap does do more damage, in theory, but you know, the flamethrower trap still does a decent amount of damage, you would think, but the cleaver trap is more upgraded, I suppose. Flamethrower turret does more damage on bleeding targets, which we can enable. We're not gonna get bleed damage synergies on the sinew slicer, but we could get, on the cleaver, but we could get burning oil synergies on the cleaver. I think we'll buy it just because it's an upgrade and I'm gonna let that number dictate what I purchase on this run. Take a look. Oh, well, there you go. So I'm just gonna buy it. You know, we could have, nah. We could have just re-rolled the one we have, but it's a set price for what I'm looking for. It's a known quantity. I'll take the known quantity, please. Is there a real company name with the name Umbrella to buy actual umbrellas? Connie says there's an Asian plastic surgery company with the same logo. The Umbrella logo. Is their corporate motto honesty, integrity, these are the principles that drive us. I'll re-roll it a couple times. I'm not gonna spend any more money on this. Our run is beautiful. Support is going to buff the damage of our DOT, it should. Last time I tested it, it worked, I think. If we take Tranquility, we could step away from the enemies and then let the turrets do good DOT work against them, but we'll just keep our mutations as is. We'll fight this guy. Bum 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 bum. This jerk is gonna break my turret sometimes. Oh, we got through him. It's a bit slow, but I guess, you know, the build is doing exactly what it was supposed to, which was just put down the turrets and then run away. We'll need more direct damage though at some point. I'm thinking it would be nice to... We miss out on 2 scroll fragments coming here over the Watcher, by the way. I'm hoping that maybe we can just find a way to buff the damage of everything that we have, but I don't know what we would need to do that. I guess it is just like Tainted Flask, because that would buff the damage by 300%, I think, at high levels, so yeah, probably what we're gonna be looking for. Wave of Denial bumps enemies further, a 5-second defensive option. I like the idea of taking this to the Fractured Shrine, actually, because we can just bump enemies off of platforms. I think I'm gonna do that. We'll dump the Sinew Slicer for this. Sorry, Cleave Trap. I always call it the wrong thing, but because it's legendary, let's give this a shot. Bumping enemies further, you know, it's not gonna matter so much on bosses. In fact, this is gonna be effectively useless on bosses, but for now, I'll take it, we'll use it. Keep our mutations, because we're fine as is, but I'll come up here to the Fractured Shrine and see what we get. Green Crow, welcome, how are you doing? You can bump the queen off the tower with that, says Connie. You know, that's a good point. It is a further bump, so that might work. If we go and fight the queen, though, we might not go and fight the queen. It still hit me. Rude. I did not mean to come down here. That's a pretty nasty bump. It'll also do a lot of damage if it bumps them up against a wall, so keep that in mind. I mean, it's basically doing what I want it to do, I guess, for now. No, we don't want this yet. I mean, so, Selvito, you do raise up a good point, which is that this will work on... No. This will work on projectiles. It'll block projectiles. But I really don't like using it for that purpose. Because if you hit the boss, you're gonna interrupt the boss timing. Anything that bumps and staggers will do that, and so I really don't want to use Wave of Denial on a boss. The giant, I think, is an exception because it doesn't actually stagger the fists. Well, although that's incorrect, because you can stagger the fists. I actually did it on a run once. And it killed me. Well, no, it didn't kill me. I'm trying to remember what actually happened on that run. Oh, I think I just took damage. I didn't actually die. Could have died. Okay, well, we gotta solve this. Let me put the slicer over there. Didn't really do that much here. There's an enemy below me. You know what? Conk. That's something we can do with the sinew slicer, just bump. It is, you know what? This is very good for killing things. Which is where I think that this is gonna actually shine. The ability for the bump to just like one-shot someone up against the wall. Man, it even pushed him so far off to the side. That was great. What do we got? Oh no, it's all bad. All right, fire grenade. 200% bigger AoE. Root grenade. Victims will root nearby enemies, so it spreads the rooting effect. With burning oil and bleed, that's pretty good damage though. Abyssal Trident. Increases your movement speed after a crit. Oh man, it's all bad. It's very bad. I suppose the best thing for us out of that is probably like the root grenade. The rooting effect is not bad enough to warrant not taking it. And the fact that it synergizes so well with burning oil and bleed means that the damage is actually like, it's not terrible. I mean, what's 180% on top of 2,500 damage roughly? It's gonna be almost triple damage, so it's gonna be almost 7,500 DPS. So the grenade would do almost 30,000 damage. That's not terrible. That's not terrible. Fire grenade has way more impact than the turret. Fire grenade is actually not that good. It's good for enabling fire if you need it, but damage-wise, its damage is pretty subpar. Especially if you're trying to roll DOT and damage bonuses for the DOT. Bonk. I can't believe you live. Thank you. Ow! After all of that, the bird got me. Like I do think that the fire grenade is good for room-to-room combat, but it's really not that good for bosses, I think. Especially because like I literally have more fire damage in the firebrand, basically. The real thing about the fire grenade is, so the fire grenade, it inflicts 2 stacks of fire damage immediately, and that's because one of the stacks of fire damage is from the grenade. The other one is from the ground that the grenade lit on fire. The fire damage from the ground does not scale with things that increase DOT damage, like support, so it's something that I've learned recently. At least I believe that to be the case. I should probably test it again, just in case I'm like mistaking the lesson that I learned. You just jumped to his death? Almost. Support is added to your attacks, not the turret. Support works on the turret's damage. But more importantly, support will increase the damage of the DOT being done, and then as the DOT ticks, it increases the damage of the DOT ticking. So it's actually applying 2 damage bonuses to bleed, burn, poison. But it does not affect the damage from the ground. So there's weird little interactions like that with how the game handles damage. It's the reason why Vengeance is so good, because it applies the damage bonus twice. Again, I'll do another test, I think, maybe at the end of this run, just to confirm, but I believe I ran that test and that's how it worked. Which is how I realized that, you know, it's when I learned to stop worrying and love the damage bonuses. That was a little late. Which is why I was actually surprised that these. Oh, excuse me. I was surprised that the item I was using a little while ago wasn't synergizing, because we were just getting 29 damage. And then 29 and then 29. Wait, what was I testing? What didn't work? I don't remember what it was that I was testing that wasn't working. Oh, it was the... Yeah, Corrupted Power, thank you. I couldn't remember the name of it. For some reason, that does not actually work on the DOT damage being applied, which I found a little strange. But I'll, you know what, we'll test everything again, and we'll do that test with Corrupted Power to ensure that that's how it works or doesn't work. Okay, I would like to not get hit here for 7 more kills. Okay. Do we need anything from the shop? Nope. Oh, there was another weapon shop on this floor. We need to get some new weapons. Ooh, double damage on burning oil is pretty nice. I believe that does affect the bleed damage. I bleed it does affect the bleed damage. No, we'll if we were gonna take Acrobata Pack, this would be the time, but I think we'll just stick with No Mercy. About bursting damage. Turret is adding. You're killing everything with 2 shots. It's not even shooting before the mob is dead, and that's why I think grenade has more impact. I mean, I don't have the turret for handling these enemies. I have the turret for helping with elites. I have the turret because I'm gonna want it for the boss fight, and I'm gonna want support for the boss fight. I'm gonna want to buff my damage. That's kind of what I think. I'm not just thinking about the floors. I'm thinking about the future as well. I need a new primary weapon. Baseball bat 9, Impaler 7. Baseball bat could get crits. The Impaler is almost certainly not, but the Impaler could get a crit too on occasion. I got to acknowledge that the Flawless is actually like real good. Double damage on burning oil plus 20% damage spreads the oil. Bleed Shield Armadillo Pack. We could take a shield. I haven't rolled Armadillo Pack a lot lately. It is good. I like having it. I like having it for projectile heavy bosses like the giant and the queen and the hand of the king to scoop up the bombs. Sylvita says, I discovered that taunt is better than corrupted power for melee. I don't like taunt because it interrupts the timing. Like the enemies will be faster. I'm just gonna take more damage. Because it crits, it'll probably be better, but we could take an Alucard sword, but why don't we stick with the flawless? The third and fourth hit will do big damage. I think it's decent enough right now. I need to find 3 more enemies. There's 3 enemies right here. Want to get that loot room. I didn't think those were going to be shooting up because they're positioned underneath the platforms, but looks like that was a wrong assumption to make. Actually, we're here. I think I will possibly get the root grenade. I want to keep the turret. Fire damage is good. 382 damage per arrow, 1364 DPS, or 2700 DPS for 4 seconds. We don't have anything that synergizes on root damage like at all, but we don't need anything to. We don't need the firebrand. We don't need the fire grenade. Kinda says root bonk. Not for bosses. And again, like, the enemies are dying so fast, it doesn't matter what weapons or skills we have. We're gonna kill them, right? For bosses is what we need to think about. Maxwell, thank you very much for the Prime resub. Kaka. I'm gonna take the root grenade. Have a merry Kaka to you. Legendary Trident is just a speed up, right? Yeah, and also the crit on the Trident is really awkward because you do like a run forward. Makes it very strange. Let's go Sepulcher because it's incentivized. Can't root the hand, can't root the eye. The damage from the root grenade will still work though. We could also go Barricade. Corrupted Power is still garbage. Corrupted Power is funny because it doesn't get better. Level 1, level 10, S, it doesn't matter. It's still 50% damage, you take 30% more. You get some effects, but the effects are like, it'll bleed. Yeah, not much. Could take the Barricade. Turn it into an Electro. I mean, the more damage we do, the better, right? It would spread oil. Yeah, the minus 10% damage received instead of minus 8% damage received from earlier. By the way, you also take plus 30% damage. Fantastic, wonderful, amazing. Let me see. $470 damage on impact, and then it'll do 235 DPS with electrical damage. It'll spread oil, it'll do a little bit of DOT. I wish I could keep the orbs while also getting rid of it, but no. RIP. Well, we don't need to recycle anything, so we can just go. And we'll go Sepulcher, because it's incentivized. I'm surprised that the clock tower's not. But that's okay. Sometimes you just don't get an excuse to go to the clock tower. Although, really what it is it's an excuse to not go to the clock tower because this one is incentivized. That's the way I think about it. 2 extra jumps, yes. Behemat, welcome. Do you have a new mic? You sound clearer than normal. No, it's not a new mic. It is, I have a cold, I think. I've had a cold for like quite a while, actually. It's getting better, but it's like a cold or allergies or like a mixture of both, and I've been stuffy lately, and so, I don't know. Maybe I actually just have a really nice, deep, cold voice. You're listening to Abe FM. Oh my God. There's so many dudes in this hallway. So many dudes, my lovely dudes. War Javelin, it's garbage. I saw some bats down there. Good opportunity to cleanse this curse. Especially with this. Got him. I mean, the legend. Oh, it's a cursed chest. What's the traffic like? Traffic's a little bit, it's a little bit claustrophobic here in the tunnels underneath the kingdom. Enemies everywhere. Back to you. Enemies everywhere. Dear Nunu, welcome. How are you doing today? I don't know why that was so creepy. Hello, dear Nunu. Alright, so I'll kill you. That'll kill you. We need to do this. You know what? I think I just realized that the legendary grenade spreading the root, it doesn't actually make the enemies take damage. It literally just spreads the root. Yeah, victims root nearby enemies. It doesn't spread the 7,500 damage per second or whatever it is that we're gonna be getting out of this if they're, burning oiled. I've got the key. Perfect for spoopy season. I think things died over there. I don't know how many died. A lot. I'm hoping. It's a mimic. This orb, by the way, it's a little bit busted. It doesn't actually have like an AoE light on it. What do we got? Nah, not worth it. I do like there being a mimic here, though. We should be able to get some good equipment. I haven't re-rolled the shops either. Harrison, welcome. How are you doing today? Random skills. Dude, Indulgence is actually pretty good. Does it beat what we currently have? I don't know. It's really nice for clearing curse. It's decent damage when you're not cursed. It's decent damage if you're crowded with and cursed, but I could see myself grabbing that. But we have another shop to find as well before we have to deal. Yumi. Well, I wish. Shots explode into a toxic cloud plus poison damage. I love the self synergies, man. Boing. Boing. Oh, what are you gonna do? You can't jump? Freaking dummy. That's pretty much the ideal combo. I'll eat it. Man, we've also done a very good job of keeping the melees down on this run. Also, oh! I dodged in front of his projectile. I was doing a good job until I called out that I was doing a good job. Are you sure Sepulcher was incentivized? There are no cursed mobs. Is that a joke? Is that a joke? Am I a joke to you, Silvito? We came here because it actually was incentivized the proper way, and not the garbage way. Oh, we got so much to go to. We have skipped by a lot. I skipped by basically everything up in this area, but you know, there's a reason for that. You want to keep enemies alive so you can deal with the curses. Nothing. 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 All right. Actually, no, there is stuff. There is something over here. Something to explore. Another wave of denial and an assassin's blade. 53,000 DPS. You know, this is actually very interesting of a choice here because the blade will do tons of damage in the back, but I still think that maybe, oh my god, this is a freaking nightmare of a run. I still think maybe I would prefer to see if we can buy something from the shop first. I need this. Aw, well, you're gonna live. Come on, thank you. Torch. Torch is pretty good damage. Hard light sword, meh. Alucard shield, meh. This is an obvious reroll. Vorpan, meh. We're looking at level 12 equipment from the shop, by the way. Balanced blade. Drop no mercy, take combo, balanced blade. What? It's 35,000 DPS plus 90% plus the 100% from burning oil. So it's gonna be roughly, it's gotta be like 100,000 DPS if you hit 10 times. Like that's solid. That is very solid. and it's a level 12. I'll take it. It's got arrows too, which helps for that burst damage initially. And now we don't have the weird gameplay slowdown whenever we take damage. That's good. But yeah, I'll dump No Mercy and I'll grab combo for this. Okay, Cleaver Trap. Dude! Double damage and burning oil. And we have a Sinew Slicer 8. This is a level 10. Sinew Slicer has range, which I like. Barricade. The Indulgence crit, I think, is double damage, so this is basically 36,000 damage whenever it hits. It's pretty good. It's I think of this as like a miniature giant fist that you have to have line of sight for. Line of sight is a little bit worse than like the Serenade, but you have to be able to see the target. You could also be under them, and they could be on a platform. That'll work too. But I want to keep a turret so we can keep support and keep that damage bonus. So I might just, you know, I like the Cleave Trap because it doesn't get destroyed. But Sinew Slicer is really nice for clearing out like a horizontal hallway. The flamethrower turret. There's Face Flask, so getting Vengeance would be just insanely good. But I think we're gonna skip that. I just don't want to lean on the same overpowered synergy every single time. I'll lean on it on occasion, absolutely, but every time? No, not every time. Silvito says, I don't know why support is only purple. There are 3 or 4 deployables in red. There's also a few deployables in green. You've got the big ol' fat turret. You've got the slow turret. I want to fight the giant. Can we fight the giant here? The Cleaver Trap's not going to do anything, but the Balance Blade is going to crush it. Let's fight the Clock Boss. Would be really nice though with the Root Grenade. Her first attack, she won't turn around. So we can root her on her approach, get behind her, and then just start smacking. Smack, 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 smack. Let's do it. Good old clock tower practice. Why not? You know, it's also a very good reason maybe to take that, sorry, I couldn't figure out the button to the menu. Good reason maybe we can grab the Assassin's Blade. That hitting in the back would be phenomenal. $53,000 DPS. But it doesn't have any DOT. We got a level 12. I'm gonna stick with the Balance Blade. Balance Blade needs combo and it needs 10 hits to really start stacking up the damage, but if we can buy ourselves some time with the Root Grenade, let's give it a shot. No, 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 no. All right, so we're gonna want combo. We're gonna want, we could go Tainted Flask and then just drink up before the fight. Let's take that, and let's take support. We're going big ol' damage here. Pixely, welcome. How are you doing today? Maybe she does turn around when she's rooted. That's good damage, though. That's real good damage. That's solid. Almost killed her in one phase. This is why I think that this is a good setup and a good build, and that's why I wanted all the stacking damage bonuses that we have. Yunk. Yunk. That's not even 10 hits, Sylvita. Yeah, we didn't even get the crits. Oh, it's so good. Oh, yeah, that's what I need. That's what I need. I think it was like 8 hits and then 1 hit and then a firebrand at the very end. After she transitioned. King Scepter. I don't know why I always get this here on, well, you know, I guess I can understand it if it's right before I get to the castle. I don't know how to use the weapon. I'm just gonna be clear. I'm just gonna be straight up with you. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know how to use it. Fundamentally, it's a confusing item. Fundamentally, I use it and I'm like, I don't get the timing for this. So you know what? I choose to just kind of ignore it. I'll ignore it for now. Get the money, get the money, get the money. See ya! It didn't get the money! Ah, whatever. Pulled his aggro instead. I hate that that enemy is in that little area because it means you can never grab the money. You have to fight him first. What a jerk. What an absolute jerk. Random skills. Doubt we need them. Yo, we have not had a legendary yet this run. We get the cudgel. Do we want that? I don't know. Probably not. Do we want a legendary shield with stun duration up? This guy is still following me, I think. There he is. I think it's not gonna be good for us. Oh my god, we got crits now. When Abe doesn't know how to use a weapon, I feel validated. I don't know how to use a lot of the weapons. I'm learning some of them. You know, I'm learning the cheat codes. But, some of the weapons just feel a little awkward to me. The combo is never really getting stacked up that much, but the crits last longer than you would think with the sword. So we're still getting the crits out. As long as you go fast enough, the crits will never end. Maxwell says I never survived the scepter. It sounds like, got a flask back. It sounds like a good weapon in principle. You're invincible as long as you're jumping on an enemy's head, but again, I just don't know how to make it work. I legitimately just don't know how, like the button inputs. I use it and it always seems like trash. Gotcha. This might be one of the fastest runs I've had of the castle here. We are just speed running. Up until that moment, though. I think the balance blade is low tier, says the worldo. You know, it's interesting because I was thinking about that earlier too. I was thinking that balance blade might not be that good, but I've come around on it a little bit. Balance blade just needs you to move quickly. If you're moving fast, okay, hold on, this is not ideal. If you're moving quickly, you get to keep that crit damage for a long time. Because here's how I think about weapons in Dead Cells, okay? You have two different types of weapons. You have boss killers and you have room clearers, basically. You have weapons that are very good on biomes, weapons that are very good on bosses. It feels like Balance Blade is better for bosses because you will hit your crits after 10 attacks, and then you're gonna keep those crits for the entire fight. You know, you're not gonna lose it even during periods of forced invincibility. It lasts long enough. It seems less good for the biomes because every time you disengage enemies and then re-engage with them, you have to get your crits back up from 0. But I think in practice, it does enough damage that biomes are not that big of a problem. You know, you don't need to one-hit everything. You can two-hit things with this, you can three-hit things with this, and it's still good enough. And the first hit will enable the double damage from burning oil, so they're dead on hit 2. That's what I'm thinking anyways. We have plenty of food here though. I need to, I'm just gonna eat it right now. We need to eat this food. Ellington team, welcome once again. How are you doing? Jeez. Velatritin Mert, hello as well. Yeah, like, as long as things die in one hit, what do I care? This will be a good weapon for the boss because it'll help us scale during the boss fight, you know? We've got the burning oil damage. That's gonna make this thing pop. It'll be fine. Oh yeah, there was that shield back there. I don't think I'm gonna use it, but I'll put it in the backpack, I think. Nice head, Abe. I don't know which one this is. I don't know what the unlock for this head is either. I doubt we're gonna find a better weapon, but we'll look. Crits in the back, frantic sword. Firebrand, you know, slightly better. Nah. You know, the other thing about the balanced blade is that the damage from the balanced blade kind of lies. It says 32,000 to 51,000, but when you crit, those numbers go up. The 51,000 DPS is not when you crit after 10 attacks and have the plus 90% damage bonus. The 90% damage bonus is on top of the 51,000 DPS. So this weapon will do maybe up to 100,000 DPS even without any other damage bonuses. I think that's something that you've got to remember too. This is, you know, more solid than you think. You know, I'm not gonna worry about those enemies. They don't have anything. It says, did you notice you unlocked a head when you fell in the lava? I did notice. I at least unlocked a head. I even exclaimed that it was a positive result for such a negative encounter. Was this that head? That's the thing I don't remember. Was this? I don't know if this was that head. it was, well then, ladies and gentlemen, got a new head. Maybe this is that head. Worldo says, Vice from 3BC. 1, 2. Is that the one where you lose the full heals, or is that the one where you only get occasional singles? I guess my advice is just practice and get better. Like, there's no magic bullet at that point. At that point, you just gotta be good. Or get good. Abe, what is your favorite boss from a roguelite? That's such a hard question. Favorite boss from like any game ever? I don't know, that's an exceptionally hard question. How do you rate the bosses? Under what mechanism? Well, that was pretty good. The helicopters is Asterdas. You know, the helicopter's pretty good. That's how much I like it. How much I like it. What's my favorite boss? Favorite roguelite boss? I don't play all the roguelites in the world, so I'm probably gonna not be able to accurately give an example. I don't know. What's my favorite boss? I don't know. That's such a hard, impossible question. Vito says, the guys on BlazBlue Entropy Effect. What's my favorite boss? What bosses do I like? I mean, if I was just giving you bosses that I liked, let's see. What bosses do I like? When I think of bosses. I can't even I got lucky there because I went through the platform. I think that's a bug, and I still consider it a bug when that happens. When you drop through a platform that you intend to do a downwards attack upon. Favorite gun? I don't even know what my favorite Gungeon boss is. I don't know. Some of them kind of suck. I don't know. I could just cop out and say, oh, I don't know. Collector's pretty fun. We're about to fight him. Food and an amulet. Extra jump damage from projectile, lots of HP. That's a great amulet. It's a great amulet. We've got a lot of health on this run. Our health stats are very high. Which is not a good thing. He does not get rooted. He still moves, but he does take damage from it. Like the snake. Medusi? No. Get out of here. You jerk. I like that the root grenade still kills them, even if it can't stop them from moving. Dude. We got a health flask. meant Amaconda, says Mud. Amaconda. How do I feel about Amaconda? I mean, definitely not. Right. I could just say something very obscure that not a lot of people would have played, like, oh man, I really love fighting the turret boss in Heavy Bullets. Man, such a good boss. No one will know what the hell I'm talking about. Yeah, obscure quotes. Is this really obscure indie game? Probably never heard of it. It's called Gungeon. Whoa! At least I got the 60. What do we got? Exit the Gungeon. I don't really like any of the bosses in Exit the Gungeon. Like, it's an impossible question to answer. Rat fight. You know, the rat fight's pretty fun. It would matter a lot more to me if I had played the Metal Gear games. Oh, I don't have the key. Crap. Ah, damn it. For some reason I thought we had the key. My girlfriend goes to another school. You wouldn't know her, says Connie. Random skills. What do we have? Cleaver 10. Well, I guess if we get another cleave trap, we could take it. You know, we could also get rid of the root grenade. It's not going to do anything on the boss. So you know what? Why don't we take a look? See if there's anything else that we would like. Well, we want a better cleaver trap. We'll take this one. Yeah, why not? I mean, the grenade's okay, but we don't really need it, do we? All right, now I can get through this. I guess there was that time that I fought the rat without being able to see any of the game, so that was a pretty fun fight. But again, though, definitely not one of my favorites. Just weird. All right. No. No. Oh, he's still protected. I was really hoping I could bounce on his head. I got juked. Two extra jumps in the air. Oh, baby. Sylvita says, I love the rat on Hades' little mini boss. So I was actually thinking about Hades. I was thinking, I love the design of some of the bosses in Hades. Like, I love the fight against Hades himself. I think that's really fun, fighting your dad. But I find that fight to be so enjoyable because of the character building you get between Hades and Zagreus. The fight itself is just, you know, it's a fight. It's a video game fight. But the fact that it's between Zagreus and Hades just makes it all that much more enjoyable. Like when you're fighting the rat in Gungeon, you're fighting the rat, you have a little bit of history with the rat, but nothing of that sort. The rat's always annoying to you in Gungeon, at least in Hades. The character Hades is doing what he thinks is best for Zagreus. You know, he's not fighting his son because he necessarily wants to. He's doing it because he has to, and because he thinks that's for his best. And he's right. Hades wins at the end every time. Spoilers if you've not played Hades, though, but Hades does not always win all the time. If you haven't seen all of the cutscenes, you should keep playing the game until you get all the cutscenes. And he says I should still finish Hades. I think I finished essentially all of it. There might be some lines of dialogue that I didn't get, but I don't really care too much about the min-maxing of that nature. Yeah, I don't know. It's a hard question. Favorite boss? I don't know. Can I say Big Dog? Big Dog's always fun. Definitely not from Wizard of Legend. Those bosses are kind of just like whatever. I remember playing Hades and felt accomplished once you get to Bone Magara, says Calazo. I think you mean, whatever the name is of the Bone Hydra, called Bone Hydra. Much damage as I was kind of hoping for there. Still got our crits though. Give me that. Get over here. Stone Titan and his neural, says Mud. I didn't even think about Risk of Rain. Definitely not the freaking final boss of that. Definitely not the weird spider void boss either. Once you finish all the relationship thing with her. That's true. Oh, I see what you mean by Bone Magara now. I forgot about that part of your relationship with her, your jailer. You're right, 10 out of 10, best boss. Anyways, good run. Yo, the Balanced Blade, very strong, but I think we just had good damage synergies, and then also the damage bonuses. We had support. On top of that, we had the Tainted Flask, and then we also had... What was the other brutality scaler that we had at the end there? It wasn't Vengeance. Oh, it was Combo. Combo wasn't really that good on the boss because the combo, again, any boss that has the forced invincibility, you're gonna have a bit of a hard time with, and that's, you know, proof positive right there. We're gonna do a quick little bit of testing though. I'm gonna grab a fire grenade. I'm gonna grab a throwing dagger. I'm gonna grab a fire grenade. There it is. I'm gonna grab a throwing dagger. And I'm gonna do once more a little bit of an A/B test with some of the. Dude, this is the flame head. I'm noticing it right now. Dude, that's a cool head. I'm glad I died. We're gonna do a quick little A/B test here with the skills and try to learn some of the effects of these. We also need to get corrupted power, but we'll grab that in a second. So, balance blade, 147 to 230 DPS. Up to 10 hits, that does 240 DPS. But then as we keep hitting, it is increased to 435 DPS. So it's almost double damage, plus 90%. Hey, what do you know? The throwing dagger does 4 damage on a bleed. Fire grenade does 10 damage on the burns, and it stacks up multiple stacks of burn. Then we're gonna go back, we're gonna grab a few items. Actually, I wanna grab corrupted power and do some tests. So where's corrupted power? There it is. I wanna see if how this affects things. Let's look. Yes, legendary symmetrical lance is pretty good on the collector fight. You can skip a phase if you hit him on the 3rd phase. Okay. So now we're doing 670 DPS, so roughly 50% more. Let's wait for the cooldown from this. It's gonna take a minute for the cooldown, but that's okay. I got time. I'm here to learn. I want to know how the corrupted power works. Yeah. 4 damage on the bleed. You know what I'm noticing? I'm noticing that there's a second number when you hit with corrupted power. There's a yellow number that's 50% of what you were doing as physical damage. So this does not affect DOT. It only gives you bonuses on the physical damage that you're doing. Very interesting. It's showing 230, that's not even 200 on crit. Well, Balance Blade, it does 230 DPS on crits. I meant to try this with corrupted power. Something is not correct. No, it's correct. The DPS is only an approximation. It's not going to be perfect. So that one didn't even increase the damage of the fire grenade at all. Okay. Let's grab a few perks, and we'll do some testing. We're gonna look at. Let me try combo. I want to see if combo increases DPS from bleed. Let's take a look. I'll hit him up to a ×2 damage. And then 18. Wow. And then it goes down to 8. Yo, combo multiplicatively affects DOT. Would you look at that? That's cool. So when we were at double damage, it showed 18 because it's double damage applied and then double damage dealt. So it was going from 4 to 8 and then from 8 to 16 roughly. So that's cool. I didn't know that combo would work like that, but it totally does. Tainted Flask, I know does, but we'll just approve it. Again, like DOT is actually absurdly powerful in this game because it scales very strangely and infinitely. That's the wrong button. I meant to do this one. Yeah, so now it's doing 6. The burn is doing 15 plus and then 12 plus. That's because the fire from the ground is not being increased twice. It looks like it is being increased once though, which is actually more than I thought it would. I thought it would only be increased 0 times. Now it's back down to 10. Did you ever do the Vengeance DOT testing? Vengeance does work. I did test it. That's why Face Flask Vengeance is so damn good, because it basically quadruples your damage output if you're doing bleed. And then the other things that I've tested in the past, I know that Tranquility will increase the DOT damage if you're away. Support also does. Why don't we try the support? Because I'm, again, like 90,000% sure that this works. Corrupted Power is not doing anything, though. It is not affecting the DOT. I wonder if it would affect the bleed explosion, though, but probably not, I would have to guess. Yeah, now it's doing 8+ damage. And then if we get far enough away from the turret, now it's inflicting 4, now it's inflicting 5, now it's inflicting 8. And I guess it's a little hard for me to get that far away from my turret, I guess. Inflicting 8, and then it's inflicting 5. So, yeah, it looks like it is getting scaled multiplicatively. Why was it giving me 8 there? Oh, now it's giving me 8, 5, and 4. I think it is still working, though. So yeah, we learned that combo, apparently very good with damage over time. We should keep that in mind for the future. Any chance we can get like a balanced blade or a Panchaku combo Vengeance, and then a boss fight that doesn't have forced invincibility like the Giant, you'd be able to crush him. But then again, the Giant is kind of hard to hit with DOT. You would need, I don't know, like a turret that can fire up into the air or something. I don't know what you would require in order to do that. Does make the Snake Fangs and the Blood Sword better with combo, though. Okay. We learned something. Add combo to the list of mutations that affects DOT and stacks multiplicatively. Great knowledge. For now, for those of you on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. Like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe for more. Check me out on Twitch for when I go live. Support the channel at any of the links below in the video description, and I hope to see you here again for the next run of Dead Cells.